Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the Super Metroid Triple Bingo Tournament. We have match number two between Thorneto and Farrell. And I'm very excited for this. We had a really, really close match for match number one. Hopefully, many of you that were there with us for the first match got a chance to see it. Farrell edged out Thorneto by just about a minute or a little over a minute, but they kind of were in roughly the same room at the same time, finishing up the match. And it wasn't completely evident exactly how that was going to turn out in match number one. So really exciting conclusion, and hopefully this one will be just as exciting.
Yeah, the last one was actually less than a minute. It was about 45 seconds or so difference, so it was really exciting. That's kind of what I expect to see here too. And the card has just been shown, and the runners are off, but we are waiting on stream delay. So,
All right, and just like we talked about in the first match, our runners will be using Series Station. Your obligatory, canned Ridley fight, and they'll be using that to start planning their routes for what they're going to do. So we have some ammo pickups. We've got actually a significantly more. Oh, the card just changed.
yep, this is the actual card now.
This is the actual card now. So disregard everything we saw before. This one looks actually kind of interesting. We got a screw attack pickup. We've got a couple of the same tiles, like finishing in the spring ball room and a Meridian map station, skipping charge beam. Another collect only one beam, a few map stations. So looking at this, it's not very obvious how our runners will be routing throughout, but it'll be very interesting to see. We're off.
And as always, the middle tile is the most important one. So first thing that I always focus on is that it's Meridian Map Station, not a very difficult tile at all. Even if you're not planning on doing anything in Meridia, you can still, like, if you go up first, for example, you can still kind of just head into Meridia, get that map station, head out, and go into Norfair, and it's not too bad. Even if you don't have Gravity Suit, if you get Power Bombs, even without High Jump, you can get to that Meridia map station. So sometimes I like to do that if I'm planning on completely skipping gravity, but that's pretty rare that that is able to happen. Looks like we've got a skip charge beam tile.
So now I have a question, Zeb. If we look at the bottom left, visit the critters, could that mean either the Eticoons or the Decora? Do you have your choice of which critters to visit? I mean, we're not expecting them to finish the run and see the animals at the end.
You would have to see both of them. So you need to go and see both of them. So you need to get that speed booster before you can complete that tile. And that's one of those tiles. That's one of those tiles that really pushes you to go down first, because you want to get that speed booster early so that you can come back through Brinstar and see the critters.
Well, you're also going to need power bombs as well, because I highly doubt anybody's going to want to invest the time in to do the moon dance.
Yep. So what happens pretty often is either you go down and you beat Croc to get power bombs, or you go down first and then you go to Wreck Ship next, because then you get power bombs on the way there, and then you go to Brinstar to visit the critters.
Sounds cool. We've got a couple of interesting tiles. You got 20 plus super missiles. That's a significant amount of map traversing in order to get all 20 super missiles. Finished in the metal pirate room and screw attack. So we do have a couple lower Norfair tiles this time.
Yep.
So pretty standard. We're going to see our runners do, basically the same thing you see in just about every Super Metroid category. We're going to go down, get Morph Ball, going to get our missiles, fight Bomb Terizo, get bombs. I don't see any reason to skip Bomb Terizo or not get bombs in this category.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a... Oh, there is a Criterion map station tile on the bottom right. That one's a little bit annoying just because you have to decide on it so early. Unless you're coming back that way.
Would you say it's worth picking up just in case? Probably takes about, 20 seconds maybe to get, maybe 30?
Yeah, I think it probably takes closer to 30. I really don't like to Especially if I think, okay, I can like I'm planning on coming back to Green Brinstar, so if I have to get it later, it's worse to get it later, but it's not too bad. Um, if you're already going that way. Um, but if you're really not sure and you don't think that you're going to be coming back that way, then it can be okay to pick it up. Especially because it's on the bottom right part of the card, in one of those corners. Like, that one of the corners means that there are 3 different ways to collect that tile. So there's a chance that you want to just kind of pick it up.
It's a good point too, noting in chat that you have to use all your missiles for that particular room. So I could see how that would be another unpopular reason to pick that room early.
Yeah, that's something that I've noticed too in my runs. You really have to farm missiles back up if you're going to do that.
So we do have a few more ammo tiles this round than we did have in the first round. So, you know, for instance, collect all 40 criteria missiles doesn't sound like it would be all that difficult to get. I wonder if we'll see any just kind of extra pickups here and there just to make sure, but I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah, that one's pretty tough. Like, especially if you're going wreck ship first, it means that you need to bomb jump up to the missiles in the sky outside of wreck ship.
Yeah, that's
true. It means
true.
that you need to go through Gauntlet, and you need to go down to Old Mother Brain. That one's probably the worst one.
Is outside of wreck ship, is that also considered criteria?
Yep, it is.
All right, so sky missiles would be tough. Yeah, so actually that does not seem as that actually sounds much harder than you would think just by looking at 40 because you know, usually it's not that hard to collect a lot of missiles going through the map.
And it looks like Feral is also going to be picking up this map station. Just doing it after Bomb Teresa, which I don't mind that. I think that's a completely fine thing to do because a lot of times you don't have your route picked out until after Bomb Teresa anyway. So he might have decided, okay, I'm actually going to need it now, and go back down. So that's not too bad. And we're back to about being in sync.
I haven't noticed any significant differences between Farrell's movement or Thorneto. Both of them seem like they both have pretty good movement throughout. So I think that's a good indication that we could see as close of a match this time as we did last time. And both of them are already making similar decisions. And we have, near sync going past Terminator E-Tank, just about 3-second difference.
Yeah, I think that I haven't been paying too much attention to the movement. Last race, it was also kind of hard because they did such different things with such different item loadouts that it's hard to tell. But I would expect Pharaoh to have probably a bit of a movement edge on Thorneto.
If you go by their vanilla PBs, I would say so for sure. But it can definitely interfere with your movement. I know from playing rando categories specifically, you know, it's if you're thinking about where do I need to go, what do I need to get next, and what do I have to get where, it can really interfere with your playing quite significantly.
Or kind of got trolled by one of those drops. He dropped down and he was trying to get 2 missile drops from the enemies, but he got hit, so he wasn't at full health anymore, and then he got a health drop.
Very lucky though, Thor was able to pick up all those missiles without having to go back up the elevator. That's a feels bad man all the time.
Yeah. And it looks like Firo is going to be picking up this missile recharge station. So it looks like he's going to be trying to do both Brinstar missile recharge stations, which is in the top left corner of the screen, or of the card. Not in the corner, but like next to it.
Yeah, second tile from the top left.
we'll see if either runner picks up Charge Beam. There is a skip charge tile, so there is some incentive to skip it.
Currently, it looks like that they already have, which, arguably you could say because they haven't gotten there yet.
And it looks like Thorneto will be picking up Charge Beam, so he is not skipping Charge Beam this time.
Skipping Charge Beam seems like a pretty bold move.
Yeah, it's not too bad, especially if you're not fighting like Croc, things like that. Or if you're not fighting Croc and also not planning on getting a lot of missiles. Ridley is the big reason to get Charge Beam a lot of the time. But even then, like, a lot of times you don't have many beams, so it's not that great anyway.
So Farrell's going
picking up these supers.
Yeah, makes me wonder if that's a 25 plus super missiles. That could be pretty tough, actually.
Yeah, it's not too bad if you're going to Wreck Ship. There are 10 there that you can get. If you're going to Meridia at all, there are some pretty easy ones you can get there, especially if you have speed.
Good point. I've been running a lot of RBO lately, so in my head, like 25 super missiles. As soon as I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, all right, how would I route that in?
It looks like Bureau is also not skipping Charge Beam. What I was thinking, one thing that I like to do is if I'm going to be getting those super missiles anyway, the Spore Spawn supers, sometimes I like to get them early if I'm going to be skipping Charge Beam for the Croc fight. If I'm going to be fighting Croc, I'd much rather have 10 supers than 5 supers if I have to skip Charge Beam.
Yeah, we actually have 2 tiles that have over 20 super missiles, or 2 tiles with over 20 super missiles. So that could be a potential row or column for either of our runners. Well, Farrell's already got a more, right? I don't believe Thor, did he pick up Spore Spawn supers?
He did not.
I didn't think so.
And both are going down this card. What that kind of signals to me is it's pretty likely they're going to want to visit the critters. That's one of the main ones. The both missile recharge stations is also one of the main things that going down gets you.
Also, by the way, Thor, he picked up Spazer. So we can mark that tile off for him.
Right about that. And so did Hero.
So I like Spazer pickup. I know it's not a popular beam for everybody, but I always like having a little bit of extra firepower, and you don't have to be as accurate as you do with the pea shooter. So it's a good safety beam, and also you get to knock out a tile with it. It takes about 30 seconds to get. Not a bad pickup at all.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty nice against bosses like Baboon if you screw up. If you have the Charge Beam, at least. It makes it not so bad if you run out of ammo. Gives you both an easier way to hit Baboon because it's so much wider and more damage against him. So yeah, there are quite a few tiles actually here that push you to go down a little bit first. Like that Wreck Ship Reserve Tank tile also does.
Oh yeah, you're going to want to have that speed booster, otherwise you're out of luck.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. I have a feeling we're going to see significant difference in routing compared to round number 1. So I kind of like having quite a different setup here.
Yeah, maybe. I think that one route that I potentially see is bottom left, top right, column 5, and row 3. I haven't analyzed this card super deeply, but that's one that seems to work reasonably well. If you're going down, you beat Croc, and then you go back up. You kill Fantoon, then you go through Brinstar again to free the critters, and then you just go, and once you kill Dragon, then you're done.
Farrell, unfortunately, getting Kraid to stand up, but taking him out with no problem.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough if you mess up the Kraid quick kill, but he did a pretty good job cleaning it up.
So if you're looking at these tiles and you're looking at these rows and columns right now, which one would you just absolutely try to stay away from aside from collecting all 40 criteria missiles?
Um, hmm. Looking at it, I think I would probably try to stay away from anything that requires Lore Warfare. I think that there aren't enough things in Lore Warfare to let you skip Meridia. I think that I would try to avoid like the screw attack and finish a Metal Pirates room tiles. I would also probably try to avoid the plasma beam tiles, so the collect plasma and skip space jump would be one I would be looking to avoid. Other than that, maybe the finish and spring ball too, unless there's a way that you can skip Dragon, which maybe there is, but maybe actually what you could look at bottom left, top right, column 5, and row 2. I'm not sure if row 2 or row 3 is better. Row 3, you have to kill Dragon. Row 2...
Well, row 3, you also have to go all the way to Crocomire as well. So you have Crocomire and Dragon both, and those are both definitely big time sinks.
But if you're doing column 5 anyway, then you have to defeat Croc anyway, which is what I'm thinking about. Because there's that tile
column
in the bottom
5,
right.
row 4.
Column 5, bottom left, top right, and then either row 2 or row 3. Whether finishing the spring ball or defeating Dragon's better. I think the defeating Dragon's probably better than getting spring ball. But I think that's pretty close.
Yep. So it had been marked off that both of them have collected one charge beam and not wave beam, so we could probably mark that tile as well.
Yep. Get that. And now they both collected one of Speed Booster. Or, no, Feral has not. So. And it does look like Thorneto is going to be doing Croc, so I'm expecting that he's probably doing one of the routes that I said earlier. Either the bottom left, top right, column 5, and one of row 3 or row 2. Although maybe there's something else that I'm missing. Oh, I missed it also. Feral, I'm guessing, got both missile recharge stations. I'm pretty sure he got the first one. I didn't see whether he got the one before Kraid.
I didn't happen to see either. I don't remember either runner going to the missile recharge station at Kraid.
He did? Okay.
He did? Okay. So everybody make sure you follow chat when the race is over. Doing a fantastic job keeping us honest here.
Yeah. So given that, I think that Feral is pretty likely to be looking at column 2 and row 2.
Okay.
Because those seem to work pretty well together. And then, maybe bottom left, top right. He would be able to skip Croc by doing that, so that seems pretty strong.
Yeah, out of everything I'm looking in here, it looks like the Croc tile is quite possibly the longest tile.
But it looks like he is going to
time
Croc.
it takes.
So instead of skipping Croc, he's going to be able to skip the critters, I think. I think that he's looking at column 5 if he's doing this. Because row 4 looks really bad to me.
Had a really hard time with that gate. That blue gate can be really frustrating.
Oh, I think that, yeah, he needs Croc because he needs the grapple for the spring ball.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, because was it skip? Is there a skip ice beam? Collect one only. Yeah, he's got speed booster, so.
Yeah, and there's the collect spring ball and skip ice, and top
Yep.
left, one down right to it. So given that you have to do this, if he knew Crystal Flash Equip, I think that the bottom left, top right thing would be pretty interesting. Although, no. Because you need the Crystal Flash Clip twice. You need the Crystal Flash Clip to get into Bot Wound, and then you would also need the Crystal Flash Clip to get into Spring Ball, so that probably wouldn't be very good.
Now, that would also involve a whole lot of extra farming. I can't imagine that would
Yeah.
be very pleasant.
Farming and damaging down multiple times.
Yeah, damaging down. Good point.
It looks like he's going for a spike suit. Feral is here.
Not sure where to use it, but probably just to go and get the power bombs.
Thor defeated Croc.
So I wonder if we'll see column 1, row 3 as a possibility.
Column 1, row 3, you said?
I don't know how to read it. I'll get better. But the one that
Row
starts with
1?
4 energy tanks and then 20 super missiles, Meridian map, defeat Crocmeyer.
Yep, that's row 3.
Yeah, row 3. They have just about every possibility to do that. Everything they need to get that done.
Yeah, that was not too bad. I'm not
somebody mentioned they have speed for Batoon, but that implies that they'll also have the gravity suit, which our runners do not have yet. So
I think that they're right about that. They don't need the Crystal Flash Clip into Bot Wound because they're almost certainly playing in gravity suit. So they only would have needed to do it once. So when you're only doing it once, I think it actually is viable to do Crystal Flash Clip if you know how to do it. And it looks like you're probably going to need to collect the 50 supers minus X power bombs or whatnot if you're doing column 2 and row 2.
Yeah.
So you're almost certainly going to have the ammo to do the Crystal Flash Clip. Just need to know how to do it.
Who would Suitless Meridia? I would, every chance I get. I love Suitless Meridia.
I haven't found a card that makes Suitless Meridia good yet, but I'm always on the lookout for it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that would be something very viable for bingo.
Yeah, if you can completely avoid Wreck Ship and Lorne Warfare, and you can, maybe you need to kill Croc or something, so you need that grapple beam anyway, then I can see it, but it seems pretty tough to get a card like that.
So Thor already making a play to wreck ship.
Yep. He picked up both of the power bombs, so now he's at 15 power bombs. Which makes sense if he wants that collect X supers and 50 minus X power bombs.
Going for Ocean Fly. I missed it. Oh, missed it.
Yeah, just missed it.
It was a little bit too early, I think, on that missile. I mean, a little bit too late. I'm trying to think of what the differences have been so far that Feral is so far behind Thor right now as far as location on the screen.
The main differences have been he went and got the missile recharge stations, and he got the super missile, the Spore
Spawn. Okay, that makes sense.
I can't really think of anything else. I think that those are pretty much it. It looks like, given that Thor collected that missile in Wreck Ship, he's planning on getting all 15 Wreck Ship missiles. Which makes sense with what I was expecting him to do.
Yep, and he's got speed, so the Wreck Ship Reserve. Yep. He wants to work on that row, wouldn't be difficult. Red Tower is not being kind to Feral right now at all.
Yeah. When Red Tower goes bad, it can go really bad. Yeah, I think the Thorneto is almost certainly doing bottom left, top right in column 5. I would assume that he's doing row 3 as well, but he could be doing row 2. Either one I think would be okay. Or no, he can't be doing row 2 anymore because he skipped the Norfair map station, I think. Unless I missed it and he got it, which is very possible.
Much safer Fantoon fight for Thor this round than he had in the first match. Gonna have no problem cleaning this up, and I would imagine Farrell is gonna go and head over to wreck ship as well.
Yep.
And probably make the same picks.
I don't think that Farrell's gonna make the same decisions like for row and columns because of that. Both missile recharge stations.
Oh, good point. I'm glad you're here. You know quite a bit more about this than I do. It's just I've really been interested in hearing your comments on it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, been fun. It's like Thorneto finished off Fantoon.
So with Fantoon being finished off and Farrell likely making his way to wreck ship, I would like to welcome SpeedGaming 6 rating us. Thank you very much for the raid. I hope you all enjoy it. We have a Super Metroid triple bingo tournament going on right now, so our runners are going to try to fill up basically this bingo card. They have to fill either 3 rows or three rows or columns. You can even finish in a diagonal, so that's just 5 map tiles that match up in each row or column. You probably have a better way of explaining that, Zeb.
Not really. Like, just get any 3 rows, columns, diagonals. Like, yeah, pretty much. Any 3 if you're choosing. You can change your mind throughout the race. Like, yeah.
It's also worth mentioning, if anybody is aware of the double anti-bingo, the DAB tournament we have, this is very different. Whereas in DAB, your opponent could pick 1 row or column for you to do, whereas here all 3 rows, columns, or diagonals are your choice. It's the runner's choice, so they get to pick which ones they are wanting to do. So it involves a lot of routing on the fly. They only had a few moments at the beginning of the race while they were going through Series Station and the cutscene right there to take a look at the card and decide what their routes are. So very exciting to see how they route these on the fly.
Yeah, I think that comment in chat. I think that Firo is probably doing column 2, row 2, column 5. It's very similar to what Thor is doing. I think that Thor is a little bit ahead, though, if Firo's doing that. I think that is, like, they're doing such similar things. I think that if you wanted to go to, do column 2 and row 2, the best thing to pair it with, I think, would have been bottom left, top right, but then you do need to do that crystal flash clip. But then you get to completely skip proc, and that would have been such a big deal in this race.
No, I didn't happen to notice before that Thor, I'm pretty sure Thor did croc, but completely skipped picking up the grapple beam.
Yep, which makes sense, because he's not planning on getting the spring ball.
Yep. I mean, so that's kind of a tell of what, at least what Farrell is thinking as far as what they're going to do, or what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. Basically, Farrell needed to get the grapple beam because he's planning on getting spring ball. Thor didn't, because I think that he's going to be doing row 3 in addition to bottom left, top right in column 5. And Thor did pick up that missile on the right side of the attic, right? I think I saw him go in there.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, for sure he got it. Cool. Chat being the MVP today for me. Then.
Yeah, no kidding. So for those of you who are watching, we did not end up having a tracker for this match. So Zeb is doing a stellar job helping us with tracking here. while he's doing commentary, and I'm trying to fill the gaps where I can. So this is all pretty new to me. I'm really excited to see this bingo. I did not join the tournament because I didn't think I could route on the fly as well, and I just wanted to kind of be a spectator and see what it was all about. And so far, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, bingo is so much fun. I really like bingo.
Yeah, not as much volatility. I think a lot of the volatility comes from just your decision making. You know, not so much worrying about surviving, but you know, trying to plan your route, hoping you don't have a lot of backtracking, and hoping that you actually pick up everything you're supposed to before you're done.
Yeah, like there are some dangerous things. Like a lot of times you're kind of pushed to go direct ship first, and if you're not really good at that, that can be very dangerous. But yeah, there's just it's largely just like your decision making. Like volatility can come in the fact that sometimes you pick a bad row and maybe a slightly weaker opponent can beat you when you do that.
Yep. Also mark that Farrell does have his 20+ super missiles.
Yep, because Farrell picked up the Sports Bond Supers.
See, Tracy also saying she thinks he's got 15 power bombs as well.
4 E-tanks as well. Yep.
Thor's a little low on health right now. He'll need to be a little bit careful. Shouldn't really be a problem with gravity.
He's going to be picking up the Eddie Coon's
probably Eddie Coon's E-tank because he's got to check out the critters.
Yep. He's probably going to pick up the super and the power bomb there, so I think that he'll be fine. Everyone needs to really watch his health though, like because he's going to want to get the Wreck Ship Reserve tank as well, I think.
True, and this is a good room to farm in. You can farm that bug, or you can lay. I would rather lay power bombs in the pancake room. Usually, you can get a little bit more there.
Farming in either of these rooms is kind of rough. I don't think is he going to grapple across here?
I would imagine so. I think. I mean, he can do it with this amount of health, but I don't know that you'd want to with having to pick up. Maybe he's not gonna.
Yeah, he can't get the
reserve now.
Looks like Thor has the 4 E-tanks and the 20 supers. So this will be 20 power bombs for Thor and 20 supers, so that means that he needs 10 more total supers or power bombs to complete the collect X supers and 50 minus X power bombs. So given that Farrell won't be able to do column 5 now.
Farrell going for it? I mean, how?
Well, yeah, well...
I don't know if he can jump high enough to spark.
Yeah, this is... Oh, he almost died.
Guy hit that spike. That's bad.
Okay, so yeah, he was planning on doing that. He just didn't have the energy. So what other stuff can he do here?
I mean, he could always just re-enter wreck ship, but I don't think I would.
Yeah, I don't.
Watch out for the fish. As you get out of here, watch out for the Ripper. Watch out for the fish, please. I mean, you can just run at the bottom and not be in danger, but be careful, Farrell,
He's
please.
taking it really safe.
Now, if you just run at the bottom, right as you come
fine.
down there, you're fine.
Yep.
but maybe he was hoping to get some, maybe a health drop. But those fish are not very reliable for drops.
Yeah.
And I'm with Ajder in chat. You've got 16 supers. Just super the darn thing. You know, I don't know. I've never run bingo before. Oh God, Farrell, watch out, dude! Holy cow, that was sketchy.
So I think what Pharaoh is going to have to do now is column 2, row 2, bottom left, top right. I think that you can still do all of that.
I think it's not a bad call saving at the ship right there. I wonder if Farrell's going to go back to wreck ship and get that tile.
I really doubt it.
Yeah.
But I think so. The biggest problem with what I'm before he could have completely skipped green and pink Brinstar, and now I think he kind of needs to do that.
Do you ever have trouble when you're doing either rando or bingo? I know I struggle with this in rando, is where you get tunnel vision. You get locked into what you think you're wanting to do, and if something doesn't quite work out, you try to go back and make it work rather than move on.
Yeah, I think that can happen. Sometimes the opposite happens, where I look for any way to do something different, and there just is nothing. Where you kind of just have to suck it up and go back and do what you messed up or trying to do.
Yeah, I know that's part of why I didn't join the bingo tournament. I sometimes have the same trouble in randomizers. I just get too focused in on one thing, and I got to tell you, bingo, having to focus on 3 different rows and all kinds of things, some things that might potentially contradict one another. It's really tough, especially when you're trying to run and look at the card at the same time. I mean, you really don't get a lot of time to plan your route. You get only about 2 or 3 minutes, and during that time you're playing. At the beginning in Serious Station, and it's really, really tough. I think the runners are doing a great job.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Farrell exactly is planning now. Because the 2 most obvious things for him to pair with what seemed like his column 2, row 2, or I didn't see if he got the map station.
Yeah, both Farrell and Thorneto got the map station.
The Norfair
Farrell
map station
for sure,
I'm talking
yeah.
about. Not the Meridia map station.
I didn't see the Norfair map station. I just know they got the Meridia.
What seemed like the most obvious to me for Farrell was column 2, row 2, and then either bottom left, top right. Farrell did get it. Okay, yeah. And either bottom left, top right, or column 5. And it doesn't seem like Farrell is doing either of those at this point. So I'm curious what he is planning.
Farrell did get EOD text says Farrell did pick up the Norfair map station. And I didn't happen to notice either.
So is that 50? I think that's 50 for Thor in terms of power bombs and supers.
It should be.
Yeah. So I think that that's 50. And Thor, I wasn't actually paying attention. I didn't see if he saw the critters. I'm pretty sure he did. I didn't see if he went to the Decora.
He did not go to the Decora, but definitely
he didn't go to the Decora?
I really don't recall seeing him go to the Decora.
If he didn't, I think
that could be problematic, because I think that's what he's trying to do after collecting the Meridia E-Tanks. So this would be the second Meridia E-Tank, right? He got Mama Turtle?
Yeah.
So
if he missed that, that's a pretty big deal. I'm not 100% that he did, but
I'm not 100%, but I feel like that's such a long drop in such a long room. We would have noticed had it happened.
Yeah, no one in chat is saying that he did, so I kind of
I would leave it
feel
blank
like
for
he did.
now. That would be a pretty big oversight and cost quite a lot
Yeah.
of time. Yeah, Dragon's Lair is quite far from the Decora.
Mm-hmm. Because if he did pick up that, this is the last thing that Thor needs to do if he got the critters. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and check the
check the VOD, check the replay.
Yeah.
Nice first spark to a damage boost for Thor.
Okay, he did. Good.
Very good. So this is going to be it for Thor.
Yep. And Thor has finished in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 39:55. GG to Thorneto.
GG Thorneto. Very, very well run. Very well planned out. I kind of feel bad. I don't know if we'll ever get to. Well, we could. If we get an interview, maybe we can ask Farrell exactly what he was going for.
I think
especially once he missed the reserve.
I think he was going for column 2, row 2, and column 5, but not 100%. I think that's both Meridia energy tanks there. I'm actually not sure. I didn't see whether he picked up
Mama Turtle.
Yeah.
Farrell he did pick up Mama Turtle.
Okay, then yep, that's both.
So it does appear that Farrell is going to try to finish up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, killing Dragon here is interesting. I'm not sure what it does for him.
See, again, I think he's just finishing what he was trying to start, because I think he was planning on, beating Crocomire and Dragon and getting that wreck ship reserve. So, but either way, it's looking like even if Farrell had gotten the wreck ship reserve, Thor still would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Thor's routing was just a little bit more solid for this match.
And even if that was what he was planning, I don't see the third thing that he had.
Yeah.
Because that would be row 3 and column 5. But
so now, being as inexperienced in bingo as I am, 39:55 sounds like a very fast time.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
Anything under a 40 is a good time. Well, is a really good time, I guess, I would say. It's hard to, quantify exactly how good it is, especially because each different card is so different. Sometimes it can be a really good time on a difficult card. Sometimes it can be, just an okay time on an easy card. Okay, it looks like Farrell is forfeited at this point. We'll see if they want to come in for an interview.
So while we're finding out if our runners are coming in for an interview, I'd like to say thank you all for listening, and especially because I'm very inexperienced as far as triple bingo is concerned. So, Zeb, I'm really glad you were able to jump in the booth with me and help out and explain it a little bit more. We'll have to mark Thor as finished, and let's see if I can get the controls to do that. I think I did it correctly.
Yep, it looks. Can you mark Farrell as forfeit as well?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So we have a 1-1 match right now. We have Thorneto winning the match.
Well, winning the game. But...
Or yes, winning the game. And we have a 1-1 tie. We do have Thor is going to come in for the interview.
Yep.
And while we're waiting for we do have Thor here. Thor, GG.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how do you feel about the races?
Well, the first one, like, I made so many like brutal mistakes, and it ended up being a really close race. So that was like, I was feeling those mistakes after, but I managed to come up with a pretty cool route on this one, I think, that I'm pretty happy with, and I didn't really make any major mistakes. So this race, I felt pretty good about, actually.
Yeah, I think that there was a really interesting route that you could have done in this card if you can Crystal Flash Clip.
Okay.
Which is column 2, row 2, and bottom left, top right, where you can completely skip Croc and skip Dragon. But
right.
But that requires being able to Crystal Flash Clip.
Yeah,
which you
I
already
didn't really
are getting
want to
the
screw
50
with that.
the 50 power bombs and supers, so you're gonna have enough ammo to do it. But just actually doing it is the hard part.
Makes sense.
But yeah, otherwise I think that your route is basically what I was looking at as probably the best thing outside of that.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Looks like Pharaoh joined for a second, but then kind of left. See if... Hey! GG, Pharaoh. Oh, and he's gone again. Yeah, the second race I think was really good for you. Pharaoh kind of messed up. I think that you were ahead anyway, but he was trying to get the wreck ship reserve tank, but didn't have enough energy.
Oh, yeah, I'm always really careful about that now, because I've done that a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, so that kind of...
Very entertaining to watch. I was going to say, how'd you feel about the first one, Thor? Were you watching, or even the second, were you watching the restream? Did you know how close the first one was, or...?
I actually wasn't watching the restream at all. I had no idea, so... I was like trying to get that ice clip desperately, like heart beating.
Right as you got to trying the ice clip, that was when Pharaoh got it. So
yeah, makes sense.
If you had got like first try, it would have been like, you probably still would have lost, but would have been by like less than 5 seconds. So.
Oh wow! Did we have a similar route on that first race?
You had the same choices, but different route.
Wow!
It was pretty interesting.
Okay.
He went to wreck ship first, whereas you went down first.
Makes sense. Cool.
It was a little less obvious on the second match exactly what the choices were going to be initially, but 39.55, you routed that extremely well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looked like Farrell, from what we were looking at, it looked like he was doing column 2, row 2, column 5.
Okay.
And then it looked... So he needed to go to Croc anyway, even though none of those... Or column 5 does have defeat Croc, but he needed to go there to get the ice... Or to be able to get Spring Ball.
Makes sense.
Once he skipped the reserve tank, I think that he could have done bottom left, top right instead of column 5. But I'm not sure if he didn't see that.
Makes sense.
Interesting. Farrell tried to join, says that he cannot hear anything when he joins. So I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Interesting. So Thor, what do you do? What do you do to prepare for game 3? Oh, Farrell is here. GG, Farrell, welcome.
Thanks.
GG's.
Yeah, that was an interesting race. Yeah. GG, Thorneto.
Yeah, GG.
Good second game.
Yeah, I guess we're going to a third one now.
Looks like it.
Were you
So-
watching the restream, Farrell?
I was listening. I wasn't watching.
So were you planning on doing column 2, row 2, column 5 that last time before you missed the reserve tank?
Oh, this game just gone. Column 2, row 2, and column 5.
Mhm.
And then I switched to row 3.
Mhm.
After I missed Wreck Ship Reserve, but I'm an idiot. I didn't realize row 3 also had Wreck Ship Reserve on it.
Yeah.
So I kept going because I switched to a row,
Mhm.
thinking I could still complete it. So I defeated Dragon, which wasn't in my plans. And then I realized I still couldn't complete the game without. I think Critters is the
Yep.
only
could have
thing
done
I could
that.
have done
Yep.
after I missed Wreck Ship Reserve, which was a silly mistake. I didn't check my health.
Well, I was going to ask if you forgot you had grapple beam or if it was just simply you did not check your health.
Yeah, I didn't check my health.
Yeah.
Why can you get it with grapple?
No, you could
no,
grapple
but you
across
coulda-
the
you coulda-
spikes.
Yeah, you
Oh.
could have grappled across bowling and it would have saved you the health and you would have been able to spark.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, I just didn't consider my health at all. It's completely my fault.
Regardless, I think you did a fine job, definitely better than I could. It was like kind of I'd be wandering around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to figure out exactly how to route these things. So really impressive to see both of you
Yeah.
play so well today.
I think in the first game I was just ticking off tiles. I didn't really have a plan.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to us. We were all like, okay, what's Farrell doing here? Like,
There
could
was
be
no
doing
plan.
this.
I was ticking off tiles until a plan came together. I'm not really a rando or a bingo runner. Like, my movement was shockingly bad in that to me. I feel, but
Like, that's
kept
just kind of
missing
normal,
ones.
though. Like,
silly things like missing red tower and like over and over again, and little things like that that I normally just get first try, and because it's in a different setting, I just messed it up.
also just needing to think constantly, being worried, like, oh, did I miss this? Did I miss that? Like,
Yeah,
do I need to
especially
do
when
this?
You haven't
Like-
fully decided what you're doing, and you're constantly checking. Can I get this? Like, because there's a lot of collect only one of, and so I was constantly checking. Can I get this? Can I get this? And
yeah, it really messes with your movement.
It's fun though. It's triple bingo.
Yeah,
It's
I
something
like
normally
triple
do,
bingo a
so.
lot.
And I
I'm
think
really glad-
Two rows is really easy, but that third, as soon as you add a third one, that seems to mess everything up, like the plans. But
Yeah,
that last
the first race I had 2 rows picked out like quite early, but I didn't have the third row until like 25-30 minutes in.
yeah, I usually end up going for a few rows and then just see which ones click. And
That last race, I think there was a really interesting route if you can crystal flash clip. You could do row 2, column 2, and bottom left, top right, and then you get to skip both Dragon and Crocomire. But it requires a crystal flash clip into the spring ball room. But
that's
I
not
think
too
that would
bad.
be a
If
really
you have the ammo, that's not really that hard to
Mhm.
attempt. If you can have like maybe 10 attempts at it, it's not too bad. But
which you would, because you need to collect 50 supers and 50 minus X power bombs anyway. So I think that would have been a really interesting route to see.
And I heard someone mention Criterion Map Station, and I feel the same way. I wasn't sure. It's so early on, and I wasn't sure whether to get it or not. So I skipped it, and then after BT, I thought, oh, I better get it just in case, because I probably, looking at all the options, I probably wasn't going to revisit that area. So it's
Probably what I would do, especially if I wasn't very familiar with bingo. I would probably try to click off as many tiles. Like if I'm in proximity to something, it's going to take less than 30 seconds. I might as well go after it anyways, just in case.
Yeah, like Spazer, it's really easy, and it's right there, like just to get.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm a really big fan of both yours, Farrell, and Thorneto, so it's really great to do commentary for both of your races today. I hope you have good luck scheduling match 3. I don't know when y'all are going to play that, but thank you so much for doing a great job here tonight. You guys got anything else left to say before we close the show?
I'm just kind of glad it's going to a third game because this has been fun.
Yeah, me too. I'm really happy we get to do 3.
That first game especially was closer than I
Mhm.
thought. I thought I was doing really bad at first, and then I was close to the end, and I heard the commentary saying I was ahead, and then all of a sudden, oh, maybe he's not ahead.
Yeah, you got
very
it. You got
close.
the ice clip right as Thorneto was making
Yeah.
his first attempt.
I was going for
So-
the consistent setup, and otherwise you can't get it with the beam combo I had, so I
Mhm.
just
Um,
took advice from that point.
Do you know how to do it with X-ray? Where you freeze
Uh,
the thing really
I
high.
can guess, you just freeze over and over until it is on the right frame.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, I think, with X-ray because you just freeze it at the highest point instead of right after it jumps. And
Yeah,
then
I
you can,
tried
use
really
the
hard not
X-ray.
to scroll the screen as well, so I could actually get that set up, and
Mhm.
it didn't matter. So.
Well, GG, thanks for the comms. It was a lot of fun. I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be good to watch back.
Great commentary.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mm.
Well, everybody, that kind of wraps up our match number 1, match number 2 for Farrell versus Thorneto in our triple bingo tournament. So please wish them the best of luck for the next tournament match, and follow them as well. Both excellent Super Metroid runners across a variety of categories, vanilla, and so on and so forth. And follow Zeb316, by the way. Not just a good commentator, but also an absolutely stellar Super Metroid player. You have
Yeah.
anything left to say, Zeb, before we wrap it up?
Not really. Just thanks everyone for watching. And be sure to tune in for race 3 between these two runners. Should be really good.
Yeah, keep an eye on the schedule for that. There's a lot of races coming up. If you look at the schedule, it's...
Yeah, I think there's another one at 11 p.m. tonight, but I'm not exactly sure who's in that.
Yeah, I can look at the
Yeah, there
schedule
is.
really quick. It's Apathy Duck versus Just Defend, so that should be also a really good race.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Make sure you tune in, and thank you so much. And with that, I guess that will wrap up the episode. So we will all see you next mission.
Catch you later.